Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about perfumes in my collection that I did not like or even hated at first when I first smelled them, but now I love them. So let's go ahead and start it off with my most recent of the purchases, and this is Gris Dior by Christian Dior. This is the, I want to say 250 ml bottle. Oh, it smells so good. So I got a sample of this fragrance, I want to say maybe last year sometime, last fall. And I was really excited to try it because I've heard so many positive things about it and spritzed it on. And it's not that it smelled awful, but it was really kind of pungent and earthy. And I did not understand how what I was smelling is what people were describing in the reviews that I was watching and reading. So I was just like, oh no, this is not for me. So I, tossed them off to the side and just thought, I just don't like the way this fragrance smells. I kept it on my skin for a few minutes, but it started to bother me. I didn't want to smell like that, so I scrubbed it off and didn't think I'd think about it again. Ended up revisiting it probably earlier I'm trying to think, maybe this spring, maybe in March or April, and tried it again. And I had the same type of initial reaction where I was like, okay, that's pungent and earthy. It doesn't smell quite as bad as I remember it smelling last time, but it still doesn't smell like what I think it should smell like. But I decided to keep wearing it on my skin, see how it developed. And I want to say maybe 15, 20 minutes into it, that part of I think it's the oak moss and the patchouli had settled down. And then I want to say bergamot and rose started to come out more and blend with them. And it just became this really beautiful, fresh, clean, I don't find it to be soapy though, fragrance. What with that still kind of nice, dry, earthy quality to it, very well blended, and I fell in love. So I think the first time I just wasn't prepared because I didn't know what those notes were going to do together. And smelling it again later, knowing what it did smell like before and being patient with it completely changed my mind. I've only had this for a few months, and this is a huge, huge bottle, and I've put a dent in it on top of finishing 2 samples that I had. I really, really love this one. I'm glad I gave it another chance because I was not a fan on first sniff. The next one I have here is Delena from Parfums de Marly. This is actually the exclusive bottle. I have a smaller decant of the original one. But this is just for, visual sake. I remember smelling this a couple years ago. I got a sample from the PDM website. I think I got like a little kit. And I was excited to smell it. The bottle is really beautiful. Pink is not usually my color, but I thought the bottle was just so beautiful. And the way people raved about it, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to enjoy this at least. I spritzed it on. It didn't smell bad, but it was so sour or tart in the opening. The original Delina, I believe, has lychee and rhubarb in there, and I was not prepared. I was not warned. I did not appreciate that opening. I did not like it. And then I just also, again, my nose wasn't very mature back then, so the rose was kind of throwing me off, I think. I didn't know. It was very florally. I was not prepared. And then the incense really started shining through, and it gave me a headache within a few minutes. And I was like, ugh, why are people raving about this? It's not, again, it didn't stink. I just did not have fun wearing it. So I, put the sample in a box somewhere and thought, no, thank you. This is not for me. When the exclusive version came out, still wasn't interested. This is the exclusive bottle. And this was a love at first sniff for me. And still wasn't interested because I was still traumatized from my first experience smelling this one, the original. And then the La Rosée came out, and that one intrigued me because it was, it's aquatic, it's fresher. Everyone was saying they had taken out the rhubarb note, which is what was making it really sour. I think the incense was taken out. They added some woody and musky notes, and that was something I figured I would like. So I got the La Rose. I sampled it first, loved it, got the exclusive, loved it even more, went back to my Delina sample, and that's when the magic happened, and I absolutely loved it. So when my decant is gone, I'm thinking I have so many rose perfumes now, but I'm thinking I probably will get the original Delina because I really, really love the way it smells now. And whenever I wear my decant, I get compliments on it. Okay, the next one I have here is Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gioia. I had a Sephora order a couple years ago, got a sample of this, was really excited to try it. I love fresh citrusy fragrances. Spritzed it on and just felt like my nostrils had been assaulted and disrespected. It was so sharp and so unpleasant. I could not believe that this was a fragrance that was still, being sold because of how bad I thought it smelled. I'm not sure if the sample was bad. Maybe, again, my nose was just not very mature back then. Maybe it was the older formulation, which I have heard is much stronger than the newer formulation. But I did not like it. And that sample I threw away. I didn't want it anywhere near me. But I kept hearing people talk about it when the way they were describing it is not at all what I experienced when I sampled it. So last year I was in Sephora and they had it. So I thought, I'll spritz it on. Just spritz on a little bit. Definitely did not have the same experience. I also didn't think it was like that amazing. But I definitely didn't think it was awful like I had thought it was before. I won't lie, part of the reason that got me is I love this bottle. I love the cap. It's so cute. It's beautiful. It looks great on the vanity. But I also liked the scent enough to, this is the 30 ml bottle. And I got it, I'm pretty sure on like a third-party retailer for a really good price. And you can find these all over the place. So I thought, okay, for that small amount of money, I'll get the smallest bottle, give it a try, see how I like it. Fell in love with it. I put this huge dent in it just this past summer. It was up to here and was on my tray and boom, down there. The performance is not great. That's part of it. You have to overspray, but it smells so great. It's fresh. It's, citrusy, but it's not sharp. It's not, overbearing. There's like the mint in there that makes it really refreshing. And then there is also a brown sugar note in there that gives it this really subtle sweetness. It's like sipping a mojito in a hammock on a tropical island somewhere. It's just gorgeous. I love this fragrance. It's so good. I'm so glad I tried it again and didn't just go off my initial hate reaction. The next one I have is Love by Killian. This is another one. I smelled it and the reaction I had was potent. It actually made me physically ill. I felt so nauseous all day. I could not get the smell off my skin. I could not get the smell out of my apartment. It was just so sweet, so cloying. I didn't understand why everyone was talking about how good this smelled. To me, it smelled like after you have a bowl of like a fruity cereal, like Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles or something like that, and that how the milk smells afterwards, times 1,000. It was just not good. So I got the Killian sample kit. So I just put that sample back in the box and thought, okay, that one's not for me. Found a couple others that I liked and purchased. And I'm not sure what it was that made me go back to this, but maybe sometime last year, I went back and smelled that sample again. And I just spritzed on the tiniest little bit, preparing my stomach to feel that sense of revulsion like it did before. But it didn't happen. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. And as it wore on my skin and, the base notes came out and it kind of mellowed and deepened, I was intoxicated. I fell in love. And went out and not only bought a bottle, but I also went and bought 2 of the refills because I found really good prices on the older formulation of them. So yeah, I'm glad I gave this another try. I really enjoy this. Orange blossom, marshmallow. Maybe maybe neroli in the opening. I can't remember what the notes are, but it's just, yeah, it's still sweet. It's very sweet, very cloyingly sweet. But I guess I've gotten used to that, or maybe it's just settled down. But I just find this to be a very yummy, intoxicating, sultry, seductive fragrance. And I do get compliments when I wear it. And the last one I have here is a Poison Girl by Kristen Dior. Same reaction I had to Love. Made me super nauseous. Was not a fan. I got a sample, again, threw the sample away, and scrubbed like crazy to get this scent off of me. It was too much. It was too sweet, too nauseating. I went back into Sephora again, gave the EDT another try, and actually really enjoyed it. Got a compliment on it. So I think, my nose just needed time to grow and mature and try new things. But this is rose, orange blossom, maybe some almond, tonka bean. There's lots of notes in here. And this is sweet. It's warm. I don't find it cloying like I used to. And this is also the EDP and not the EDT that I had originally smelled. And this is one, again, I get compliments on it. I've been told I smell like mysterious and seductive. I love wearing this for going out. I love wearing it just, to be cozy on the sofa. It smells great. I'm really so glad I gave this another try because I absolutely hated it the first time I smelled it. So it's always good to give things another chance if possible. Okay, so if you have any, fragrances that you had the same type of experience with, please leave that down in the comments below. I'm, curious to see what else might be out there that I need to give another try to. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.